Hey YouTube, it's Muddy back at you. We're going to talk today about how to choose the right duck call for you. Not selling any particular brand name. Everyone knows I'm Echo Call, man. If you choose to go with Echo Call, good deal. If not, that's fine. Pick what's good for you. But what we're going to talk about with the duck calls is there's a lot of different makers out there, and I think that's great. I love the fact that the duck call industry is growing. I always say one of the things that's helping it grow is the fact that people want to learn how to blow duck calls, and people want to buy duck calls. And we also have people out there that don't even blow duck calls but collect duck calls, and they probably have the most duck calls that I've ever seen. You know, I've seen collections of the guys that collect the duck calls, and I said, well, let's see our sign. And they're like, I can't blow it. But you know, um, it's just one of those things when it comes to duck calls, I'm attracted to the sport. So what I want to talk about today is not necessarily how to buy the right duck call for a collection, although there's a lot to talk about that in that folk art, all the way down to just actual hunting part of the call. But what I want to talk about today is how to get a good call for you, fit you in a good call, or help you get fitted in a good call to get you to make you successful in bringing them ducks in the woods to you. So with duck calls, excuse me, you guys know I chew, so I got to get this. With duck calls, you go into a store, you know, a lot of people are attracted to the color of the calls. They're attracted to the name of the call. They're attracted to shape of a call, et cetera, et cetera. And they'll buy these calls because they want to be true to, you know, a certain company. It's their favorite color, you know, and so they get this call, and then they try to run the call, and, you know, it may start out pretty good, but later on down the line, they just feel like there's something just not right about the call. And next thing you know, they're either trying to get rid of it, or they're changing companies, they're switching companies, looking to see what is in their line that fits them. And with the roll of the dice, because if you don't really know what you're doing as far as picking a call, the roll of the dice, you might find that call in that line, and you say, hey man, this is it. And so now you begin to buy a lot more calls within that line maker, and within those few calls, you're not happy with some of those calls. Still happy with that one that brought you over there, but you're not happy with the call. So here's let me say it to you like this. There's a lot that goes into the duck call. There is a bunch. It's a bunch more than just making a sound. You have to look at a duck call as an instrument. People that play saxophones, they go into a music store. They don't just say, give me a saxophone, and stand behind the counter until they go back there and grab one. They come back, hey, here's a sax. And they say, yeah, let me have that. No, they feel it. They want to put a reed in the mouthpiece and blow it. And when they, or whatever you want to say, when they play it, they feel it. And it may not be the right sax for them, but they still are a saxophone player. So they look for a different saxophone, and they play it, and it's just about right, but it's not what they look for until they find that right saxophone. It could be trumpet, it could be tuba. I'm using saxophone as an example. But when they find that right saxophone, that's it. That's the one. Okay. And so it's the same way with a duck call. Duck call is an instrument. It is more than a tool. It's more than a weapon for the woods. It is an instrument. So we have to, then from there, we have to understand what the instrument can do. And one of the biggest things within this instrument of duck call is what we call hold. This pressure in the insert. Everyone knows that the most important part of a duck call is the insert. Second most, of course, is the barrel. There's two parts of the duck calls: the insert, the barrel. If it were me, I would be focused more so on my insert than I am the barrel, which the barrel does play a big part of it too. Not as much as the insert, but it plays a big part. So let's talk about the barrel let's talk about the insert since we're on the insert. So the hold is built into the insert, all right? When you turn a duck call around, you're looking at the inserts. The smaller the hole, the smaller the HOLE hole, not HOLD, the more hold HOLD you will have. The only reason why I'm spelling this because I know my accent is kind of funny. So the smaller the hole, the more hold that you have in a duck call. The wider the hole, the less hold you will have in a duck call. So what does this matter when you have a wide bored out insert and a less bored out insert? What does that matter? Well, for you as a caller, that depends on you. So the question now is, would you consider yourself someone that blows real hard? Would you consider yourself someone that blows real light? Do you want to blow light and not have a headache all day when you're out hunting? Or do you want to blow hard all day when you're out hunting? One of the best examples I can give you a duck call that has a bored out insert, and it is a really hard duck call to blow, is a cut down call. If you look at cut down calls, they're bored out. I mean, they're just wide at the bottom. And then take into the consideration they begin to cut down on the insert, I guess the bed of the insert. They begin to cut that down, which makes it even harder to blow that duck call. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Arkansas J-frame today, and I'll give some examples of a cut down call, because a cut down call is built like an Arkansas J-frame. I'm not talking about Louisiana style calls that have the insert with a piece that you put on, and you put the reed in between those two, and you put your barrel with a hold. I'm not talking about those today. I'm not talking about Reelfoot Lake style calls, which is pretty much the same way, but they come with a metal reed. I'm talking about Arkansas J-frame duck call inserts today. Now, so we just talked about hold a little bit, and I'm going to show you something here. Now I'm going to show you. These are R&T calls, but I picked these out because I think it's pretty good. All right. So let me come up closer. Now you walk into the store and you see both of these are R&T originals. Of course, they're not made the same year, but this is an R&T original, and this is an R&T original. All right. But so you say, well, let me get that original, or let me get this original, or whatever, because they're both originals, right? Not so. If you turn them over, I don't know how well you can see this in the camera, but this one is bored out more than this one. All right. I don't know if the camera's showing it well, but this one definitely is bored out more than this one. You're going to have more hold in this call than you will this call. All right. Another example. This is a R&T Daisy Cutter. And this is a zinc powder hen. All right. And yes, this is acrylic. This is wood, but it doesn't matter. Look at the board in that Daisy Cutter. Look at the board in that powder hen. More hold, less hold. You got that now. So the benefit of hold. Well, benefit of hold is you can blow light. You can get a lot of squeals with it. A lot of people like doing Cajun squeals, and I've heard people call this stuff barks and stuff. Now I'm only going off of what people be calling on the internet. I don't call all that stuff that, man. It's just, to me, duck sounds. But if you want to make those type of sounds, you're going to have to get a call that has more hold in it. You can do it with a bored out call, but you have to be a strong, windy guy. You have to be. Now, don't let the hold fool you now. Don't go getting one that's real choked down, or don't make a call that's real choked down, because then you're gonna get a lot squealing out of that call, and you're not gonna like that either. So the benefits of a call without a hole in it, it's more forgiving. Point blank, more forgiving. The downfall of that is it will squeal on you, and sometimes I've even had them lock up on me in the woods. All right. Now, bored out call, less hold. To me, when you want to get that boss hen, that's the one that's gonna give it to you, because you can get down on that one right there. You know, you can get light on them. You can. Not as light as one that is, with more forgiveness in it, but you can still get light on it. And then when we're doing competition calling, like our competitive calls, like I use Echo Boss, they're gonna be bored out more so that you can really hammer down on that and get the highs and the lows. And so that is one of the things I can tell you. That's a tip I can tell you when you go into the store next time and you're looking for a call. Know who you are. I can't tell you what call to pick. I just have to tell you this: if you feel that you are a heavy blower, that you blow hard, you need to get a call. You need to look at the call that's wide open. And if you feel like you're light, then you need to look at calls pretty tight with more holding. I like calls with holding at times, and I like calls that are bored out at times. That's why I have a mixture of both. And going to your lanyard, you see guys with a lot of calls on the lanyard. This is one of the reasons why. All right, a lot of people don't talk about this, but your lanyard should be, hold, less hold, cut down, whistle. Maybe a goose call if you're in the open water. You put different. The reasoning for calls on there is different. Not just have a bunch around your neck. There's some guys I know that they have one call on a lanyard. They may have open areas on their lanyard, but all they got is one, because that's their trusted call. They know how to use it and they know how to do it. So you don't need a lot of calls, but if you do have a lot of calls on your lanyard, make sure it's not the same bored out call, because you're just going to go through the same situation. You could have an open water call on there, you can have a timber call on there, you can have a wood call on there, you can have an acrylic call on there. Different calls on your lanyard will help you out. So now, with the calls, picking the right call, then we want to talk about wood or acrylic or polycarbonate. Okay, to me, getting polycarbonate is the best way, I would say, get yourself fitted in a call if you're new to calling. Don't go out and spend a lot of money on these calls if you're new to calling. If you're just getting into the sport, you've been attracted by this. Start out with polycarbonate calls. We have them at Echo Calls. They have them at RT. They have them at Buck Gardner. They have lots of different polycarbonate calls. Okay, get your poly and look at the board. Now I will say this: on most of the polycarbonate calls, you're not going to get a lot of different board in it. One of the polycarbonate calls that we have, excuse me, that should be ready. Look over here. Let's see here. There we go. This is the polycarbonate call from Echo Calls. All right, you're going to see this insert. This Echo Call insert is the most sold insert to people that make barrels. This is a Tim Brown sweet meat, but this is an Echo Call insert, guaranteed without a doubt. Echo Calls produces these inserts, sell them across the nation to people that cut their own barrels. Big company, small guys, doesn't matter. Tim Brown's a big company. God rest his soul, but it's a big company. But that is an Echo Call insert. I know it without a doubt. And then you have another polycarbonate. This is not an Echo polycarbonate, but this is a polycarbonate insert, and it's bored out more than the Echo. You see? So you can look for different calls that are out there available. Here's another one. Let's see here. Here's another call. This is a Quackhead call by R&T. You see the board on that poly. Here is a Buck Gardner poly, and you see the board on that. You see? So, forgiven, less forgiven. All right? So you get these kind of calls, right? And you try those out, and you see what works for you. And then, once you feel confident of what you have chosen, then you'll step it up and you'll go into the more expensive calls. Wood is always the best choice for timber hunting. I mean, that's just the way it is. Wood calls are best for timber hunting. Polycarbonate, they slap a lot, whack, 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 whack. You know, and they're good for timber, but it's just one of those things, you know. So if you get the wood and you're hunting timber, look at wood calls, you know. And if you're hunting timber and you want polycarbonate, go for that too. But I would suggest wood and the timber. But anyway, you'll find what call works for you. But the main thing in this video is I want to tell you is you got to pay attention to your inserts, the boring of the insert. That is what's going to help you be successful at choosing the right call. And then the barrel length is another thing. You know, the longer the barrel, the more air it takes to get down to the insert. Yes, there's a lot of air filled up within the barrel, but it's wasted air, right? Because by the time you exhaust, there's still air in there and you're trying to get through and you're taking another breath. The shorter the barrel, the more air is in there, bam, impacts that reed, makes a sound, and you're able to stay on it a lot longer. So those are two other little factors right there as far as choosing the right barrel. All right. But always take care of your calls when you get them. Take care of that insert. Double up on your lanyard. I've even now when I take a call out with my lanyard, I'll go ahead and put tape around the insert. Because for some reason, I don't know what it is, those inserts will come off them lanyards. I've lost lots of good inserts and still had the barrel. So now I take mine up because I don't have time to lose it. All calls are just too expensive now than what they used to be, and the ones we used to get, they don't make them like that anymore. Same name, but they don't make them like that anymore. So can't afford to lose good calls. But most of all these calls back here I don't even hunt with. I got some in the cabinet over here I don't hunt with. I keep all the ones I hunt with in the gun safe, ready to go. So take that advice. I know it's a short video on this, but it's a lot to talk about. If I could remember some things, I'll probably come out with another video. Or if you have any comments or questions, just hit me up and I'll fill you in on that. But hope that works out for you. Just remember, don't get trapped up in the whole liking a call because of a color or a name. You got to like a call because it works for you. Have a good time.